welcome or welcome back to PrettyPlanit. My name is Tara for those of you that are new, and if you are returning, I do appreciate you so much for coming back. We are back for another Women in the Word Wednesday. If you're new here, welcome. This here is my HCSB study Bible. You guys have seen this before if you've been here. This is the journal that I am using to keep track of the women that we're studying, and we are getting our direction and information from this Women of the Bible book from the Daily Grace Co. I do pray that everyone is doing well. I'm doing good. So a brief explanation of what we're doing here. If you're new, we are studying some phenomenal women in the Bible. So we are halfway through this series, but it's not too late for you guys to catch up, pick up, start here, and continue the process throughout the year. We have several women left to cover, but we are going to get started. So what I do first is do a brief recap from last week. So I'll move this out the way for a moment. Okay. The woman that we studied last week was Sarah or Sarai. And what I have written about Sarah says, the story of Sarah teaches us that God works on his own timeline, not ours. Even though Sarah having a child at her old age seemed highly impossible, our God cannot lie. He made a promise to her and he will always fulfill his promises. Her story also teaches us to trust and have faith in God when we are going through hardships. Be patient in the process of the promise. That is what came to my spirit as I was writing this out. Be patient in the process of the promise. Also, we are reminded that when we are weak, as she took matters into her own hands, it doesn't prevent us from being part of God's plan. And then I wrote, his plans will prevail. His plans will always prevail, right? So that is what I have written for Sarah. And as I normally do, highlight one of your comments. And today our comment is coming from Fit_Kitty. So Miss Kitty's comment says, many women in the Bible have merely a verse or two, but Sarah's story encompasses 11 chapters in Genesis, plus mentions in Isaiah, Romans, Hebrews, and 1 Peter. Even though Sarah tried to help speed up God's promise, God would not be rushed. He knew that by waiting until it was physically impossible for Sarah to conceive, all would recognize the miracle birth of Isaac. Absolutely, he would not be rushed. Just as I have written, he works on his own timeline. Thank you for your comment, Miss Kitty. I do appreciate your engagement here on Women in the Word Wednesday, and I hope you guys will also consider leaving comments as we continue to study these different women, because every week I'll highlight a new comment. So thank you again, Miss Kitty. And this week, today, we are studying Tamar, and this is what I have decorated in my journal for Tamar. And I did use this sticker book here. It's Weekly Florals. This was for the 2023 planner set by LiveLovePosh. This is an old book, you guys. I am pulling out my stash. So yes, I bought this book in 2022. So yeah, this was a release for the 2023 planners. So I doubt if this is available, but you can check out LiveLovePosh.com. I'll link her website below. She does have some amazing sticker books there. And I'll just put my tab here, and then we will see what the Daily Grace Co. has to say about Tamar. I got stickers all over the place. Okay. So it says, she is located in Scripture, Genesis 38. The date of her story is 1898 BC. Locations live is Adullam and Enaim. I hope I'm saying that right. Blow after blow, tragedy after tragedy. If we were to place ourselves in Tamar's shoes, we might be tempted to give up. Misfortune followed Tamar around like a shadow, yet even amidst her despairing circumstances, she took hold of hope and did not let go, even if that meant taking unordinary routes to get there. When Tamar's husband died, she was left a childless widow with little to her name. In ancient times, widowed women were vulnerable and therefore left under the protection of their father-in-law. Furthermore, brothers of the deceased husbands were charged with the responsibility of bearing a child through their brother's wife to continue the family name, an act called levirate marriage, which is in Deuteronomy 25:5-10. In accordance with this custom, Tamar's father-in-law Judah gave Tamar to his next oldest son, but that son died too. And though Judah had another son, he neglected to give Tamar to him in marriage. By forsaking Tamar in this way, Judah forsook his family's legacy. When she discovered that her father-in-law had no intention of giving her a husband, Tamar took matters into her own hands. After Judah's wife died, Tamar disguised herself as a prostitute outside the city gates. In exchange for her services, Judah gave up his signet ring, cord, and staff items that were unmistakably his. But Judah did not know that this woman, dressed like a prostitute, was actually his daughter-in-law. So when he found out that Tamar was pregnant by means of prostitution, he sentenced her to be burned. However, upon returning Judah's items to him, Judah knew that he was the one who impregnated Tamar. Tamar took it upon herself to provide heirs to Judah's line, and she gave birth to 2 sons, Perez and Zerah. And though Tamar deceived Judah, Judah called her more righteous because her actions exposed his hypocrisy and unwillingness to provide her with the husband as he should have. Interestingly, one of Tamar's sons, Perez, would one day be found in the lineage of Christ. God used Tamar's boldness and dedication to her family to bring forth the Messiah. We find Tamar's name, too, in Jesus' genealogy, one of only 5 women mentioned, which is in Matthew 1:1-17. Tamar's descendant, Jesus, was also mistreated and betrayed during his lifetime, eventually sacrificing himself in death to give life to all. On this side of biblical history, we can find rest in the fact that though Tamar experienced years of hardship, her suffering was not in vain. God blessed Tamar by including her in the lineage of the Savior of the world. Jesus, the long-awaited Lion of Judah, reigns now and forever. Let us hold tight to this hope, no matter the circumstances. Wow. And the notable quotable here says, God used Tamar's boldness and dedication to her family to bring forth the Messiah. I absolutely love this story. I love this story. Okay, let's see what the Women's Study Bible has to say about Tamar. And then we will write out some bullet points. So I have the page marked here, of course, with my favorite bookmark from one of my subscribers. And Tamar, in the character profile in this Bible, she is titled A Determined Widow. Her background says she's the wife of Er, firstborn son of Judah, the mother of twin sons, Perez and Zerah. Her story, she became a widow upon Er's death. She was denied her legal right to an heir by Er's brother, Onan, who refused to impregnate her. She shrewdly received and trapped her father-in-law, Judah, into admitting she had been wronged. Life lessons: Tamar did not accept her victimization, but right or wrong, sought a way to get what was rightfully hers. She is listed in the genealogy of Christ, evidence of God's grace. Yes, I absolutely love that. So we are going to write some of these points and some things. I believe this study Bible sums up some of the things that we learned from the Daily Grace Code book. So we're just going to highlight several things. So let me just open this back up. Okay, I do want to make note that she disguised herself as a prostitute to trick Judah. So I think that's important to note, but we'll get there. Okay, let's move this a little bit. And I do have my Moxie dots. These are just some dot markers that I got from Moxie Life. And let me just find a color that will fit us here. Let's use this color. It's kind of pinkish burgundy-ish. We are going to note that her title is a determined widow. So let's go ahead and write that out here at the top. Okay. Did I spell that right? And let's just section this off like such. Okay. So we'll put our first bullet point here. And Tamar was the wife of Er. Okay. She was left a childless widow when Er died. Her father-in-law refused to give her another son for a husband. Her father-in-law, Judah. Okay, her father-in-law, Judah, refused to give her another son as a husband. Okay, then we can note she disguised herself as a prostitute and gave services to Judah in exchange for his signet ring, cord, and staff. So she became pregnant, and upon returning Judah's belongings, he knew the child was his. Okay. She gave birth to twin boys, Perez and Zerah. And what does the, sorry you guys, what does the Bible say? Okay. She is listed in the genealogy of Christ. Evidence of God's grace. Yes. Okay. And we need to go back to our notable quotable, which says, God used Tamar's boldness and dedication God used Tamar's boldness and dedication to her family to bring forth the Messiah. Wow. All right, let's do our recap of Tamar. Okay. So we have, she is titled a determined widow. She was the wife of Er. She was left a childless widow when Er died. Her father-in-law, Judah, refused to give her another son as a husband. I want to write, so she took matters into her own hands. Here. Okay. Her father-in-law, Judah, refused to give her another son as a husband, so she took matters into her own hands. She disguised herself as a prostitute and gave services to Judah in exchange for his signet ring, cord, and staff. She became pregnant, and upon returning Judah's belongings, he knew the child was his. She gave birth to twin boys, Perez and Zerah. She is listed in the genealogy of Christ, evidence of God's grace. And our notable quotable again says, God used Tamar's boldness and dedication to her family to bring forth the Messiah. Wow. Wow. And you guys know I'll write out my thoughts and then I'll check the comments for your thoughts and I'll share your comment next week. And now we are going to pull our name for the woman that we're studying next week and cross off Tamar on our bingo board. So let's move this out of the way for a moment. Here's our jar. Here's our few names that we have left. And I'm just going to move them around a little bit. I'm going to try to. And then we'll pull one. And this one will start off a new bingo board, you guys. So we have Tabitha/Dorcas. Okay, Tabitha/Dorcas. Let's find her in the Daily Grace Code book. Let's see. Here she is, 184. Okay, here is our image of Tabitha/Dorcas. Okay, I'm curious to know why there's two names, and we'll just mark that spot here. And I will put her in the journal for next week. Of course, we don't have her on our bingo board because, oh wait, let me see. I don't think. No, okay. She will start a new bingo board and we'll add some of these women that are left as well. Let me find our little, what did I do with it? Okay, I found it. Okay, now we're going to cross off Tamar. Yay, we have a bingo. We have a bingo. I will be creating a new board to go here, you guys, but here is our bingo. We have Phoebe, Tamar, Eve, the Queen of Sheba, and Bathsheba. That's a good bingo. That's what my mom likes to say, you guys. That's a good bingo when we play bingo at Christmas time. Yeah, I love that. Okay, we finally have a bingo. I'm super excited. Okay, so let's go ahead and I should have left that marker out. Cross off Tamar on our list, and she is here. Okay, and then next week we will cross off Tabitha and Dorcas, and then we'll start our new bingo board. I wonder if I can, this will work. I just want to highlight here where our bingo is. This is awesome. And let's go ahead and write the date as well. And guess what, you guys? It's my birthday. We have bingo on my birthday. Yay. Okay. That is all that we have for today, you guys. I do thank you so much for being here. Lord willing, we will meet back up here on Friday for Faith-Filled Friday. And then, yeah, I'll throw in some other content throughout the week. But thank you so much for being here for Women in the Word Wednesday. If you have been keeping track and you do have like a picture or screenshot of your bingo board, it has to match this bingo board and the order in which we've obtained bingo, just so it's fair for everyone. You guys can email me the screenshot, or you can send that on Instagram. I am creating a prize, and then I'll put everybody's images or their names, whoever participated in the drawing, and then we'll see who won the bingo. So again, thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed and you're enjoying all of this content, all of my faith content and pretty pink content and girly hauls and all the things that I do here, please feel free to click that subscribe button, give your girl a thumbs up, drop me some comments. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. I am catching up on all of my comments, but you guys, remember to go with God, allow God to go with you. Remember to keep praying, keep planning, and make it pretty.